In this video, we're going to use ON1 Resize as a standalone application. When we first open up ON1 Resize, we start out in the browsing area of the program. This is where we're going to find the images we would want to either print or enlarge using Resize. Now, to navigate easily inside the Browse module, I'd recommend starting out over here on the left side of your screen and either using these areas to navigate to different folders on your computer or clicking on this plus icon here, and this will pull up your Getting Started dialog. This will allow you to either edit a single photo, so you can jump right in and start enlarging a photograph. You can open a sample photograph to start playing with, or you can quickly browse to a folder on your computer. Now, to navigate different folders on your computer, head into this Browse tab here, and now we have our local drives right here. This is going to house all of the local drives and SSD cards on your computer. So I could go through here and I could arrow through these and find the different folders on these hard drives and then navigate to those photos that I'm looking for. Now on the left here, if you hover over any of these icons, it will give you the description of where that takes you into. And these are just little quick ways that you can navigate to different folders on your computer. Below that we have our cloud storage. So this is going to have any cloud storage services that you have activated. If you have a Dropbox or a Google Drive or something like that, you could easily just drop photographs into these and then it will update that on your cloud server. We then have albums. So if you have created an album or you want to create one, you can do that in this pane here. Just click on this plus icon. If you want to search for an image, you can do that in this advanced search option. Just click on it to enable it, and then you can use these different modifiers to find your photograph. In the middle of our screen, we have our photo viewing area. This is going to determine how we view our images. There's a few different ways you can view your images inside ON1 Resize, and they're all laid out down here at the bottom. Now this first view right here, this is the thumbnail view, or how I like to think about it, your grid view. To access the grid view or to go back to your grid view, just hit G on your keyboard. The next view mode is your detail view mode. To access detail view mode, just hit E on your keyboard. That will take your photograph into the detail view mode. The next view mode is your film strip view mode. To access film strip view mode, just hit F on your computer. Now we have all of these different photographs at the bottom, and we can thumb through these, and if we click on one, we can easily change to it and see a larger thumbnail preview up top. I'm just going to hit G to go back to grid view. Also in ON1 Resize, we have the ability to compare images really quickly. So if you have a group of similar looking photos, just select those images, head down, and click on this icon here. This is your compare view mode. So if I click this, this opens up these three photos in a compare view mode, and if I have lock, pan, and zoom selected, I can click in here and I can zoom around these images, comparing different qualities and characteristics of them. Let's just go back into grid view. I'm going to select this photo here, and then I'm going to use the map view option to quickly look up this image's location and apply GPS coordinates to it. So to access my map view, I'm just going to hit M on my keyboard. And I now have this map view open. Well, I know that this photograph was taken at Cape Kiwanda in Oregon, so I'll just type in Cape Kiwanda. I'll select this, and now it's taken me to Cape Kiwanda on the Oregon coast. So I'll just right click here, and I'll click here to set location. So now if I go into the metadata for this photograph, and I go to the location, I can see it's updated the GPS coordinates here, and I can also go up and I can go to Photo, and I can click Set Location from GPS Coordinates, and that will set the location for my city, state, and country. Let's just go back into grid view again. So now when we're back into grid view, let's talk about the right side of our screen here. This is just going to house any info about the photograph as well as any metadata and keywords that we've used on it. If we want to resize or enlarge a photograph, just make sure you have it selected and then click Resize. Now in Resize, we can use these different panes in here to resize and edit our document. In this document size, we can modify the size of the image. If you're not sure what size you want, you can use these presets in here. We can modify the settings on how our image is actually resized and enlarged. If you want to change the image type, you can do that up here with these. I'd recommend leaving these settings as they are, unless you're really trying to fine-tune how your image is resized. I can then use these different options down here to modify how my image is resized, so I can modify the sharpening, film grain. If I want to modify the tiling to create a triptych or different tiles on my image, I can do that here. I can also create a gallery wrap. Let's say I'm printing onto a canvas. I can do that with this option. We then over here on the left side have our crop tool. So if I click this, I can crop my image right away, and then I can modify these different settings for that cropped image size. Once you have the image the way you want it, to save the photograph, just click Done. So now we're back in the browsing portion of ON1 Resize. And if we want to export a photograph, let's say we're browsing through some photographs and we have a few that we want to share and export, we can do that really easily. Just make sure you have whatever photos you want to export selected. I'll just select these top 3 here. And then I can either share them, I can mail them, I can message them, I can airdrop them. Also, if you have a SmugMug account, you can publish these photos directly to your SmugMug account with this option here. If you want to simply export into a different folder or onto a different hard drive, you can just click this export drawer here. And now you have these different options you can use to modify how those images are exported out of ON1 Resize.